We're live.
We're going. Oh, we're going.
Here we are.
Hi guys, I'm Blake Music with Expedite Home Loans. I'm the Vice President of Sales, and hopefully you've seen our ad leading up to this. We're here to answer your questions about mortgages, buying homes, home ownership in general. Anything we can help with, we're here.
Awesome. And I'm Brittany. I run our social media channel and our blog, so if you haven't checked that out, you definitely should. But we wanted to talk a little bit about our company first, and why did we create Expedite?
So I was part of the team that started Expedite. About 6 months ago now is when we really launched, and we saw a really underserved segment of the market where people think of mortgages and they think about going to a bank and it being stressed and things are slow and inconvenient and you're kind of on their time, and we wanted to kind of change the culture of the mortgage industry and make it really about the borrower, convenience, speed, good prices, and I think we're off to a great start, and we're hoping to connect with as many people as we can and make it more so about being a good source of information and being someone that people can trust. That's another piece. Is a lot of people, I feel like, have not the greatest opinion of the finance industry, and whether that's deserved or not, we're trying to kind of be the reliable, friendly place you can turn for help when it comes to buying a home.
Definitely. How long have you been in the mortgage industry?
I started as an originator doing loans a little over 4 years ago. I worked for actually my family's business, so prior to that I was kind of around doing odds and ends jobs, but really actually working every day, it's been a little over 4 years.
Awesome. What do you like most about it?
Being able to help people. Every situation is different. I really enjoy this. Like I said, it's my family's business, so I get to work every day with my family. My little brother is starting with us in the next month or so that's pretty exciting. But really the best part is, especially with first-time buyers, you're at closing and they get the keys to their first home, and just the excitement and just happiness it's pretty awesome.
Awesome. I think that our Facebook fans really want to know a smidge about you. So, what is an interesting fact about you, Blake Music?
There's not much. I'm 25, almost 26. I just got engaged. I'm getting married next year.
Awesome.
My life has pretty much been Expedite Home Loans lately, so it's where we are.
Well, that's great for us. And what about your favorite color?
I like red. Red's a good color.
Perfect. Let's be honest now. What do you really think about Brad's wife being fired? Should it have happened? Should it have not?
I'm not up on the details. But it sounds like it was a shame. People are really upset. So
definitely.
Hopefully, Brad's wife found a new place to work.
Yeah. Speaking of working and hiring.
Yeah,
we're actually hiring, right?
We're growing. If you are in the Fort Wayne, Northeast Indiana area, reach out to us. We're growing kind of more quickly than we can find people right now. So if you'd like an exciting career in home finance, just let us know.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
So, why are we doing this live Q&A? Why are we here?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it is tough to find a reliable source of information. The industry changes all the time. If you find some news article online from a year ago, it could be out of date. But we want to be accessible and here to help as much as we can, and we figured this was the easiest way to, the most direct channel in order to accomplish that.
Awesome. So we have a few questions that were entered in prior to this live event that I want to go through right now, and feel free to ask any questions while you're joining. We want your feedback. Hit the likes, the happy faces, the hearts, whatever you like hearing, let us know. So, Alex asked, once I'm pre-approved, how long is that pre-approval good for?
Okay, so a mortgage pre-approval includes, it really depends on the individual borrower, but whether it's pay stubs or tax returns or a credit report or whatever it may be, those things become out of date, as time passes. Typically, once we finalize a pre-approval, 90 days is generally the window. But once that time passes, it's just a matter of updating some paperwork. It's really a pretty easy process. So that's nothing really to worry about. But the short answer is 90 days.
Okay. How would someone get pre-approved?
Well, you can apply online. You can give us a call. We've got a team of really great home loan consultants that are here to help answer any questions you may have. The online application takes maybe 5 to 7 minutes, and that really will give us enough information to kind of get a big picture idea of what you'd qualify for, how much you can afford, and kind of go from there. And then same as if you were to give us a call, it's really a pretty painless process.
They're all really nice. I work with them, obviously. All right, what about Taylor asked, my parents want to co-sign on my mortgage. How does that work?
Okay, so it's a little bit different than co-signing for a credit card or an auto loan or something. Co-signers on a mortgage, everyone qualifies from the same perspective of credit score, income, the whole 9 yards, and then how that works is you are basically, if it's you and someone else, you're both equally responsible for that loan. So that's why we look into every borrower that much, and really what it's for is to protect you, to make sure that whatever it may be that you're signing up for is a reasonable payment, and you're not getting in over your heads.
Definitely. How long is a cosigner? How long do they stay on that loan then?
For the life of the loan.
Okay.
So from the day it closes until it's paid off, whether that's a refinance or the loan is paid off.
Okay. What do parents need to know about co-signing? What does that look like for them?
A lot of people do think that you can say, "Oh, I'm going to co-sign," and then that's really all that there is to it. But it's the same process whether you are the primary borrower, the co-signer, or whatever else. It's the same document requirements, the same disclosures, the same process. So if they bought a house previously, it would be a pretty similar experience.
And does everyone need to have a co-signer?
No, I'd say a majority of people don't. You don't need one, and that's kind of where it differs from an auto loan or a credit card or something. If you qualify on your own, then it's actually generally easier to not have one.
It looks like Andrew just submitted a question. Thank you, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
What are all included in closing costs?
So there are a couple different categories. The actual official closing costs are how we pay our employees, so like our processors and underwriters and everyone who touches your loan. But then there are also a lot of third-party fees that we don't really control. So, for example, every home needs to have an appraisal, and that's another way that we are protecting the borrower to make sure that the home that you're buying is actually worth what you're paying, so that once you close, you're not owing more in your home than what it's worth. But there's things like that. There's title insurance to make sure there aren't any unknown liens against the property, or surveys so you actually know the boundaries of your property, things like that. And then if you choose to escrow your mortgage, your taxes and insurance, that is also, there are some fees up front for that, but that kind of is a case by case situation.
Another question that was submitted earlier was from Dan. He asked, how can I find out if the home I'm interested in is eligible for a USDA loan?
Okay. USDA, for those who don't know, is it's a department of the government, and they have a rural housing authority where they do loans that don't require a down payment, but it is considered rural housing. So if you live in a city or a more heavily populated area, a lot of times that isn't an eligible product. But what you can do is talk to one of us. We'd be happy to check if you're looking for a home. But also they have some pretty good resources on the USDA rural housing website. You can actually just search an address and it'll tell you if it's eligible or not.
Perfect. What are the perks of a USDA loan?
Like I said, there's no down payment. And then as far as like credit and things like that, they can be a little bit more flexible than a traditional mortgage.
Great. Jamie asked, I just got out of grad school. I don't have any money saved up. Can I buy a house with no money down?
Well, that USDA option is always good. And then that goes back to, it depends where you want to live. There are some local bond programs or different government agencies that help with down payments. But generally, USDA, or if you maybe were a veteran, those don't require any down payments. And a lot of people also think that having a down payment means that you need 20% or something like that. We actually have conventional mortgage products where you really only need to have 1% to put down. So it makes it a little more attainable.
That's awesome. Tell them about our new product, because I think that's really awesome.
So that's what I was just referring to. It's called the 3-for-1, and the simple version is really it's just a 1% down conventional mortgage, and what that does, it allows you to have the perks of a conventional mortgage, whether that's the better mortgage insurance rates or the better or easily qualified property standards that you don't have with other loan options.
Perfect. All right, we have another question from Easton. Do my student loans hurt my credit score?
It depends. If you are making your payments on time, they actually will help your score. The piece that you'll have to keep in mind is if you do have student loan debt, there's a payment associated with those student loans, even if you're in deferral or not currently obligated to make payments, that we have to take into consideration when we are qualifying you for a loan. But again, that's a very person-by-person situation, so it's hard to really have a straight answer as far as that's concerned. But it actually doesn't have an impact on your actual scores if you're making your payments on time like you should be.
What kind of things do hurt someone's credit score?
The big one is just not making your payments, whether it's housing or a credit card or an auto loan or anything. It all pretty equally impacts your score if you miss a payment. Maxing out credit cards is another one. If you have a $1,000 limit on a credit card, you want to keep it under 50% of that limit. Having a bunch of inquiries, so if you just are out having people pull your credit left and right, that'll ding you a little bit. But those are the big ones.
Definitely. And then what can someone do to repair their score if it's less than perfect?
Again, that's a tough one, just because every scenario can be so different. There is a free service from the federal government. You can actually have a credit report pulled every 12 months. That'd be a good place to start if you're not sure what you may be behind on or what you may have out there. But again, we're happy to help. We're not credit counselors by any means, but there are usually a couple things we can kind of point you in the right direction to get you back on the road to being in a good spot.
Definitely. We had another question come in from Andrew that stated, what states are Expedite currently servicing?
Okay, so today we are in Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Kentucky, Florida, and we've got new ones coming. Hopefully the next few days, and we'll announce those as they go live.
Perfect. And then we've got another from Sam. I am going to live in my house for a couple of years. A friend told me to look at an ARM. Is that a good option?
Okay. So an ARM is an adjustable rate mortgage, and those I think get a pretty bad rap. What they are is there are 3, 5, 7, and 10-year ARMs, and what that means is that number is the amount of time that your interest rate is fixed. So say you have a 7-year ARM. The first 7 years after you close, your interest rate won't change, and then there's an adjustment period after that. Those are really good for Sam here. If he's going to live there for a couple of years, say he's going to live there 5 years, he could get a 5 or a 7-year ARM, and he's planning on being gone by the time that adjustment period hits, so he wouldn't have any risk there. And another benefit is rates are actually lower on those than they are on a 15 or a 30-year traditional mortgage.
That makes sense. All right. Well, I think that's all of the questions that we have so far.
Great.
Once again, we want to invite you to submit your questions throughout the week. The next week, we'll be going live again next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So mark your calendars. And you can submit them on Facebook, though, those questions, or we have that landing page, expeditehomeloans.com/unboxed. So this was exciting.
Yeah, it's the first one. So hopefully we'll get a little better going down, from here. But thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.